Next, the same thing, business requirement versus user requirements. Now, out of this, what are business requirements? We talked about this. Can you tell me what business requirements? We had discussed this during our seminar. Do you remember?
uh, like a bit, like not exactly, but then business requirements
We
is
talked
like,
about two business requirements and user requirements.
yeah,
So, what do you think business requirements are?
business requirements are like what, maybe like, how do I explain this?
So, business requirements are those requirements which are most basic and mandatory
Mandatory.
for the
Yeah,
solution. It has to go because that is what will fetch you money. That is
yeah,
what is the goal of the project. So, all the requirements that are defined that define the basic needs to be fulfilled for the successful execution that we just discussed. Those are mandate, the baseline requirements which are very much necessary. Those are the goals that define the goals of the solution. Then they may also cover technology, architecture, and infrastructure level requirements. Now, requirement, we say requirement doesn't mean that what is the solution supposed to be built upon. Not just the functionalities. We also cover the other things like, okay, if you want to deliver this, what are the devices what are the devices that are required to be supported? Is it only supposed to be supported on a PC, laptop, or you also want users to have it on the mobile phones,
hmm,
or do you want it such a way that it also needs to be supported on smartwatches, or is this device an IoT? Is this kind of project an IoT project like Alexa,
yeah.
or
No UI.
like your yeah, not just no UI, like IoT. You know what IoT is? Internet of Things.
Internet of things.
What do we mean by Internet of Things?
Um, so I don't know exactly, but then the only example I understand is
It's very
Alexa
simple.
or
The
Siri. Yeah,
Internet of Things is very simple. Internet. What are things? What are things?
things maybe everything in general
Everything
or
that you see
everything.
around, like your television, your fan, your electric
Lights.
bulb, your lights. Alexa is a thing. So now, any electronic. Now let's confine to electronic thing. Any electronic thing that is enabled through smart architecture, like the things like a smart TV. Earlier, TV only used to be connected to antenna or your set-top boxes,
Cable.
and they used to play anything that is conveyed. Now, what are smart TVs or smart ACs, smart refrigerators? What do they do
Yeah,
basically? How do they operate?
we have certain programs. So maybe like, so if there's in like in the refrigerator you have, so if you want to make code, so there are some special functions which it processes. So it develops the requirement of the making the
And
code.
how do you control them? How do you control? How do you control a smart TV?
Remote.
You no, remote, of course you control, but then you also used to control the ordinary TV using set-top box or cable. Now, what is the difference between that days and these days? A simple smart TV.
Now
There you have,
now everything is
yeah,
connected with internet and maybe Wi-Fi.
yeah. And how does it help you?
It so now I don't have to compulsory watch whatever the it's going on television. So earlier there used to be restrictions. Now I can watch whatever I want
What it gives
and
is
pick
freedom and choice.
choice. Yeah,
See, earlier what used to happen, you were completely, I mean, Tata Sky, whatever Tata Sky shows, whatever cable TV operator shows, you were forced to watch it, whether you like it or not.
yeah,
All the channels showed the same movie again and again and again. So now what happens is you have through internet, when your smart TV connects through internet, it connects you through OTT channels. Now
yeah,
what do OTT channels do? OTT channels provide you the freedom of choosing what you want to see, and then you control them. Now that control is through internet. I mean, internet provides you lots of kind of programs and list of what you want to see or what you want to watch. Now, internet, where was internet earlier confined to? Where would you see internet earlier?
Only like maybe on computers.
Now, where do you see internet?
Everywhere.
Your
So like
smartphones, your
smartphones.
smartphone, your smart TV, your smart refrigerator, even your smart lights. You have even smart bulbs these days. So these are not computers; these are things. And when internet is on these things, it's called as Internet of Things.
Instincts.
How do you getting the meaning of Internet of Things?
Yeah.
The problem is like people unnecessarily complicate the jargons,
Hmm.
and nobody explains the actual meaning of it.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why things become more complicated. The influencers keep kind of on LinkedIn. You can see influencers posting lots of complicated things, and people are liking it. Yeah, but nobody simplifies them for end masses, because if they simplify, why would people follow them?
Yeah. Exactly.
That's the trick. Show complex into people and get followers,
Yeah.
because people think that they are the only
They
only intelligent people, and we are like, if we don't follow them, we are losing out.
something. Yeah.
That's the thing. If someone asks you what is Internet of Things, just tell them earlier Internet was only confined to laptops and PCs. Now Internet has grown its limits, and today we can control our television. We can control our smart devices like free refrigerator, Alexa, and all those things, which are not physically computers. Those are actual things that we used to operate in day-to-day life. But now they have become smart, and to make them smart, we are using internet. And that's when internet goes on these things, it becomes Internet of Things. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Now, are you able to explain others what internet IoT is?
Yes.
How will you explain?
So it's basically wherever any device you see internet is it's smart device. It's called as Internet of Things. Like your fan, maybe your refrigerator, your AC.
Anything that you can control through internet. Simple. Anything that you can control through internet now, any regular thing earlier which was to be a simple static thing now becomes smart through internet. That's what we call Internet of Things. It's as simple as that. It's not a complicated thing, something. So people actually see, yeah, listen to jargons and they get scared. I mean, IoT is something big. The IoT होता क्या है? When you are controlling anything through internet, and it's not a complex thing. The techniques are same as you create any application, the application gets ported on that smart device. That's it. Those are Internet of Things. So these all actual requirements come actually in your business requirements also. Whether you're building an IoT application, or you're building a smartphone application, or you're just building a kiosk, a console which needs to be fitted into a point of sales area. Everything, this architecture also gets covered under business requirements. Then now, as I told you in the seminar, the business requirements always focus on business stakeholders. They just want to fulfill the basic needs of execution. Okay, these are the checklist. Okay, these all are delivered. That's fine. So that's the reason why they only focus on business stakeholders. But then, what happens when you package it and show it to the users? Are they really usable or not? That's where we need to understand the user requirements. See, user requirements. Now, anything that defines the user interactions and interfacing of the functionalities fall under user requirements. Like how the user will interact. That's important. Like IoT, you build an IoT device, okay, but it's like, what if a device like Alexa has a problem understanding you? Take for example, Alexa is given to those users who Alexa stop. Alexa stop. That's yeah. This is a problem. This is a user problem. So imagine this device is given to those people in a family where they don't understand English.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why Alexa comes in different language. Imagine if Alexa didn't come in different language. It says, okay, you only have to speak in English. What will happen?
People won't buy it only.
So as per the business requirement was fulfilled, you give commands to it, it will give you the results. But what if it is not able to understand the vernac or the native language of the
The
users?
users.
It won't. Take for example, this same Google Assistant or Siri or Alexa is on a cab driver's mobile,
Mm.
and that cab driver doesn't know, is not fluent in English. What will happen?
He maybe won't understand the directions and like we end up going somewhere else.
If Google, if Google Maps, it only
Mm.
speaks English, it doesn't speak Hindi. Automatically, the driver won't understand if the driver is not fluent in English. That's the reason why just building a tool doesn't help you. It also needs to be customized or to be more precise, personalized for the user. The word personalization comes here. Have you heard about the word personalization?
It's like made to your personal
So
needs,
whenever you
requirements.
go to any interviewer or any company and they tell you about personalization, don't get confused. Personalization is just as simple as that, based on the person. Now in UX we actually come up with our product building, we come up with the concept of persona. What we do is we try to identify a set of users who have similar personalities, similar traits, similar problems kind of, and we try to derive a solution based on that. So we personalize the solutions based on their persona.
Person.
That's personalization. You customize at to an extent where you personalize them. Customization is like, okay, if kind of Alexa gives you these features, it only gives you interfacing with Amazon application. Tomorrow if I want to interface it with other applications, then that's customization. You customize it. But personalization is you personalize it up to the extent of what the user
User.
wants, the user's comfort. You also make Alexa understand Hindi, you also make Alexa understand Malayalam, you also make Alexa understand Marathi. That's personalization. So the three things. One is business requirements, one is the customizations, and third is the personalization. So customization goes up to business requirements, but personalization is related to user requirements. Are you getting me? The difference in
Personalization
customization
is
and
user needs.
see, personalization is specific to users because that's where personality comes. That's where users core requirement comes. Customization is like, okay, I made this application for a pharmacy company. The same application I want to customize it for a manufacturing industry. That's customization. It's completely business. Those are all like business requirements. But then you have customized it for a manufacturing industry. But in that manufacturing industry, the workers will be using that application, and the workers are not fluent in English. Then the workers want in their language the way they want to interact with it. Then that becomes personalization because you are now catering to the personal needs of the users. You're getting me?
Yeah.
Customization and personalization.
Yeah.
User requirements are completely focused on personalization, whereas business requirements are focused completely on the customizations.
Customization. Yeah.
As I said, you just personalization. It also needs to take into consideration user psychology and the behavior patterns. Obviously, when you want to personalize the things, these two are very. That's the reason why they say UX, psychology of UX. Psychology, and so it doesn't mean that you have to enroll yourself in MS psychology or something. Psychology means basic understanding. You need to observe people, understand the body language, understand the way they behave. This all comes under psychology and behavior patterns. Because unless you know your psyche of the users, You won't be able to make it a personalized approach. These requirements impact the factors that drive the usability and user experience. Because if the users are not able to use it, your application will never hit the market, no matter how useful it is. I mean, useful for business it is. Until unless the end users are not able to use it the way they want, your product will not be used. And this especially happens between the B2C and B2B. Now, you must have heard about B2B and B2C applications.
Yeah, business to business and business to
What do you mean by
customer.
business to business and business to customers, consumers?
Um, so maybe like for example, Amazon is an example of both for B2B and B2C.
Mhm.
So like on Amazon, maybe like there are some things you can directly business to business you can sell, and there are there are things which you can directly consumers can you can sell it to the consumers. So it's like direct connection between them.
So Amazon is an example, business to business and business to consumer. Now, basically in business to business, to be more precise, what happens is, suppose if you are building an application for project management. So that project management is an application which basically is for corporates or companies for managing the projects, just like Jira or Confluence kind of. It's B2B. Now the problem here is like in B2B, the most general misconception is like since the product will be used by internal users, it doesn't matter whether we want to focus on the UX features or not. Usability in the thing matters. Since the company has bought the tool, it has to be pushed down to the users to use it. What happens is the users still get frustrated. Now B2B applications are for business to business. In that case, they generally said, okay, it's a B2B, it's for internal use. Why should I spend on UX? Why should I spend on user requirements? I have given them the basic thing, they have to use it. It's their job to use it. And that is where the employees get frustrated. B2C is like business to consumer. Now in business to consumer, what happens is it's the open market there. It's a wide market. So if your application doesn't perform, if your application is not able to satisfy the users, they won't kind of buy it at all. So here you have lots of alternatives placed in the market. So even if an application thinks that okay, I will do the monopoly here, tomorrow there is a risk that some other competitor will come up if users start ranting about a product. So it's very necessary for a product to keep evolving based on the user requirements, based on the market requirements. But in B2B, what happens is B2B, it's like they don't focus much on the usability factor because they know that okay, regardless of what the employers will have, but now that is also changing. Now there is a competition in that market also. That's the reason why many of the B2B applications also are now focusing on usability. Because they know that if I don't provide this feature, then there is some other competitor who is coming up. There will be some other startup who will just come up and just capture my market.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why usability and user experience is much important. So in user requirement, the focus is on incorporating what user wants, the personalization. Do you want a break? It's fine. Okay. Now let's classify the requirements. Now we are also heard about what to say, the functional and non-functional requirements. We'll get to that. Now let's focus on user requirements. Now this is the first requirement, simplifying the standard documentation process. What do you think? It's a business requirement or user requirement?
It's a business requirement.
Okay. Why?
Because like documentation and stuff is like maybe
The business requirement, it's a baseline thing. It needs to be there.
Yeah.
And user requirements are the additional personalization, additional kind of thing which will help the users. Now, what's the next? Building easy to understand interfaces for smooth operations.
So maybe this can be a what do you say? It's a user requirement. So maybe
Why?
because like the business, like you mentioned, ki, the in business, if there's a app, product or something, they have to only use it. So that is the
No,
point
no.
where the
Business requirement is like, now we are not talking from B2C or B2B. We are talking about the requirements. Now, business requirements are the baseline requirements which should be there in the application. Without which the
Hmm.
application won't be able to sell.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to user, see the sentence, building easy to understand
Understand.
interfaces. What do you see? What is easy to understand?
Maybe the app or
No,
is easy to
when I say
understand.
easy to understand, it is just a requirement. It's easy to understand. What is easy to understand mean for smooth operation? Easy to understand is something what the user wants. Easy for the user. It's anything that is related to usage. Easy to understand is related to usage. Then it becomes usable user requirement, because you will have everything in place, but if it's not easy to understand, and I mean, is it if it's not easy to understand, user won't be able to use it. It will have a
Hmm.
impact on usage. That's the reason how to identify user requirements. Easy to understand, simple to do, kind of. Defining an automation model for gathering all the sample pitches, proposals, and timelines. Is this business or user?
This is business.
Okay. Why?
Because like this is like the baseline of like your
Okay.
module.
Okay. Simulating machine learning based on the gathered data to pitches, proposals, and plans.
It's like user requirement.
Why?
Because like see, if here it is mentioned ki it's like a basic machine learning, that is whatever which you have gathered. Now you're like segregating it into business pitches or proposals or maybe project plans.
But user will not say I want machine learning. User will. This is not a user's language. User won't say use machine learning. User will say give me something automated. Now machine learning based, this is a decision which is to be made from the infrastructure level. Simulating the machine learning. Now, since uh, we want to automate the things, see the core business function defining the automation model. And to define the automation model, you need some infrastructure, and that's what
Hmm.
machine learning will provide. So this becomes a machine learning. Now, if the user has to say the same thing, what user will say is how it becomes user requirement is like, I want something automated or automatic to get the data, to build the data or pitches, build the pitches. So it's like the user will say this way. User will not say machine learning, these all things. So this is how you understand the requirements. This is how you actually understand how to speak to the clients and how to speak to the customers. If you tell the customer, okay, I will give you machine learning, customer will know what is machine learning. And if you tell the if user will say what is machine learning, if you say, okay, we are building an automated system with just one single click of button, you will get the pitches ready, the proposals ready. That is user's language. So while defining requirements, it's very much important to understand the language of user and the language of customer, and even the language of the technical people who are building the product. So then this is all kind of knowing the perception.
Hmm.
So from the statement, you need to understand whether it's a business or a user. Building an AI module for generating required text and plans based on machine learning. What do you think?
Like you said, like you explained right now, it's a user.
It's a user.
Like if I tell a consumer or maybe like a customer ki I'll give you an AI model, you won't understand what is an AI
So
model.
what
So
is
it's
it?
like a
Business or user?
I feel it's in business.
Okay. Applications should not slog and take forever to build the artifacts. Now tell me
Um,
this.
this
Applications
is
built.
like
This is
because
a
since it's like a user, it's a user thing.
okay, because it's such, it is showing the pain points, pain area of the user. Application should not slog and take forever because application is built. The business goal is complete. Application is built, but then after building, after giving it to the users, there's a pain point. I should not log. The application should be lighter and don't slow down the computer system. What is this?
It's the user requirement.
Okay, because again, this too comes to users because users are using it, and this is a problem they are facing while using the application. You got the difference?
Yeah.
Okay.
Disclaimer. The references to brands and products used in the examples are only meant for the purpose of use cases. The speaker does not intend to endorse, defame, or demean any of those brands or products. The focus is supposed to be on the concepts and not on names.